Edmodo, sharing media. Alright, so I'm going to show you many different ways to share media within Edmodo. First off, we'll start at home and know that there's a math course. Okay, that's all you have to know. Right now, what I want to do is share out a multiplication table with the whole course. Well, I can go in here and say, use this snippet tool. It's under accessories, snipping tool, and I can hit new. I like this multiplication table, and I'm just going to share it. I'll go save as, and I'll save it as maybe capture, or how about mult table. Okay, good. Now there's several ways I can do this. I can say, well, I want to show the entire group right now. Well, to do that, all I do is have to go click here, use this. I can go to File, go to Desktop, and look for Mult Table. Okay, this is going to be under the math course. It's going to say math, and I'll hit send. Bam. So now they can use that, and they can click on it and instantly use it. Alright, what if I want to store it? Here's the problem. As I go along adding things, they tile down. So sooner or later you're going to go more, even more, and you're going to have to go 12 days behind. Well, that doesn't help the student. They would have to go and search for this multiplication table in a very large place with 25 students all updating the page. Instead of just putting it here, I can also put it under library. And I could put new folder out here for math, and the folder name would be help for students. And I'll hit create. I'll say add to library, and I can upload 100 megabytes max per item. Well, really, I've not seen a limit to this, so you can keep doing it over and over again as long as it's 100 megs. So add library, and there's my multiplication table. If I click on it, I can hit a preview, download. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can do here. Well, let's go back to home, and let's go to my math course and look at a different way to do this. In here, I can go to library, and I can choose my table, and I'll say use this and hit send. Okay, now the advantage to this is the fact that they can always go back to the library because they have a link to it, and they can always just go to the help thing. You're just reminding them that it's there, and when they click on it, it's there, but they can always go back to the library and use it also. That's the advantage. So this will tile down just like everything else, but at least they have access to it very quickly. Alright, so that's what I wanted to share with you. Another thing I wanted to share with you is how easy it is to supply them with videos, because that's a big thing that I like doing. Okay, so I have a video. Let me just grab one here. Let me copy the URL. And let's go back to Edmodo. Let's paste that in. Okay, so let me send that. And that's very boring to look at, right? What if I did this? Let's go to link. Oops. Let's do that again. Let's go to link, and let's go here. Okay, this has a link at least now, and they can look at it. But look what happens. At least now it has a nice little icon for it, and you can click on it. Alright, that's pretty neat too. But let's look at other ways you can do this. So now if you go back to your website that has the actual video, you're going to have a share feature. Okay, and under share you have embed. I can copy the embed code and I can share it with the students the actual embed. So in this case I have the old or the iframe version of it. Okay, so let's try to use that. Let's go in here and use a link. Let's use the embed code. And attach it. This time they get a nifty little player, and the player actually shows up here. So that's how I share video. There's a lot of ways you can do the URL link, but what happens is if you use YouTube, I find that using YouTube has got one disadvantage. Students get sidetracked by a cat falling off a roof 50 times by watching that video, or a squirrel being launched in a basket. They have very low attention spans. So what I like to do is bring the content to them. It's a little easier. So that day I might have 4 or 5 links out here that they can watch those videos. Pictures are the same way. Pictures are very simple. You just have to use JPEGs. So we already kind of went through that as far as JPEGs are concerned. Google Docs. Let's say I have a Google Doc out here. Let's use my sample one here. I'm going to go to share, and I'm going to copy this URL. I like to keep it on the web, so I usually have all my access public on the web as far as lessons are concerned. That way when I go to Edmodo, I can go in here and say link. Okay. And then there's a link to their Google Docs. Very cool. There's not really a cool live update for the Google Docs, but at least when they click on it, there's the actual document. Now, any of these can be deleted, edited, or popped out. Okay? So if I want to edit it, however, I cannot get rid of whatever's below. I can get rid of the whole post, but I can't edit certain things. Like this one, for example. Notice when I go to edit, I can't edit the video URL. I would have to start over. That's one disadvantage of using Edmodo, is the fact that, you know, assignments, let's go down to this assignment and say I click the pencil. Notice I can't change anything about the assignment. I can get rid of it, but I can't set things like the pictures that I share with them. That is one disadvantage of using Edmodo, but that's the only one that I can find so far. The second may be that everything tiles and you have no way of organizing it. So you have to teach students to use the calendar. Alright, so that's some advanced stuff with Edmodo. Enjoy.